1, 2, 3.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.
Hello, my Chocolatey Kitties! Today I'm going to be ranting and talking about the insane dark story and truth about the Roblox game 99 Nights in the Forest. Now, before we start, make sure to join my Roblox group called Chocolatey Kitties with an exclamation mark, and don't forget to follow my Roblox profile called Stellafirework. Now, just one more thing. Please acknowledge that you are entitled to your own thoughts and opinions and that you do not have to agree with me. So without further ado, remember to like and subscribe, and now let's get started. So, the very first thing that happens when you join the game is that it literally shows you this message, right? The message is super important because it tells you something that sets the whole vibe of the game. It says this game is based off of a true story, which makes it feel way more real and kind of spooky, you know? Like, when you hear based off of a true story, it always makes you want to pay attention more and imagine that this stuff could actually have happened in real life, which is kind of thrilling, but really, really creepy. But then, right after that, it also tells you something else that's super important. Some details have been changed. So it's like they want you to know that even though the game is based on real events, they made some things different. Probably to make it more fun or scary or mysterious, or maybe to protect people's privacy or something like that. And you see all of this right when you start playing. So it sets up your brain for what you're about to experience. Then turn on the screen. There are 4 different images. Their images are kind of pictures that explain what's going to happen in the game, almost like a little preview or a little introduction. Each image tells you a tiny bit of the story or shows something important. So you kind of get an idea or something of the spooky stuff you're gonna face inside the game. The first image shows something really creepy. It says that there were reports made about a deer that was standing on 2 legs, but it wasn't standing like a normal deer at all. No, this deer was standing in a super unnatural way, and this was happening in the forest. You can probably imagine how weird and scary it would be to see a deer standing like that, right? Deers usually stand on 4 legs, and if you saw one on just 2 legs, that would make your heart race for sure. So this was the first weird thing reported, which got people really worried. Then the story continues. Then the week after those reports about the weird deer, something even worse happened. 4 children went missing, which is super sad and terrifying. When kids go missing in real life, it always feels so serious. But this made it even scarier because it happened right after the deer was spotted. So everyone started to think that maybe the forest itself was dangerous or something was seriously wrong there. It became very clear that something was very, very wrong with that forest. The forest wasn't just a normal forest anymore. It was almost like it had some kind of dark secret or a bad energy that made it unsafe, you know? And because of all this, the police started searching for the missing kids, but even after searching really hard, they couldn't find any clues at all. It was like the forest swallowed them up or something. And then they finally found this, the whole entire plane. And that's what I'm going to be talking about later. Since the police search revealed nothing, the forest was immediately closed off to the public. That means no one was allowed to enter anymore. And they put up fences and signs to block the entrance. This made the forest feel even more mysterious and dangerous because if the police won't let people in, it must be serious, right? You can probably imagine the feeling standing there at the edge of the forest with the warning signs telling you not to go in. It's almost like a big "do not enter" sign to keep everyone safe. Now, here's where the game really kicks off. You get told that you have exactly 99 nights to figure out the mysteries of the forest. That's a long time, but it also feels like a countdown, like a clock ticking, and you have to hurry. Your mission is to unravel what's going on inside the forest, to uncover the secrets, and to find out the truth behind strange events. And since it's a game, you actually have to survive 99 nights inside the forest, which sounds so intense because nighttime in a forest can be super scary, especially if there are mysterious creatures and dangers everywhere. In the game, you have to find the missing children who disappeared, and that's a huge part of what you're doing. You also have to fight against cultists, who are these strange people that are hostile and want to hurt you. Plus, you have to survive the deer, which, spoiler alert, isn't just a regular deer at all. You also need to keep an eye on your stamina, which means you have to make sure your character doesn't get too tired or worn out, because if you do, you might not survive. So it's not just about running around, it's about being careful, planning and staying alive every night for 99 nights. It's like a big challenge to survive and uncover the truth all at once. Okay, so now here's the really crazy part. I started doing some research about the story behind the game, and oh my gosh. Girl, you will not believe what I found out. Like, seriously, it's wild. Because yes, there really were children who went missing in a forest, just like in the game. And it's really, actually true. But before we get into the missing children part, we have to talk more about the deer, because it's like the main character or in the main villain in the game. So the deer isn't actually a deer. It's something called a Wendigo. A Wendigo is from an old myth, like an old scary story people used to tell each other a long time ago. And the myth says it's a creature that's half deer and half human, and it can stand on two legs like a person. And some people say that this creature can possess humans or take control of them. But no one really knows exactly what it is for sure, because it's just a legend. Every person who says they've seen a Wendigo describes it as having super creepy long legs that look unnatural, which makes it even scarier. Even though it's a really old story, some people today still believe the Wendigo is real, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, the deer in the game is actually this mythical Wendigo with long legs, and it's supposed to be super spooky. Now, about the cultists. These are the only human enemies in the game. They're the only people who try to hurt you, and they come after you every few nights, like every 3 nights or so. What's weird about the cultists is that they all wear deer antlers on their heads, like the actual pointy antlers that the deer have, which makes it look like they're connected to the deer or maybe even controlled by it. It's almost like the deer has power over them. The deer maybe even possessed them, and they do whatever the deer wants. It's a little bit scary to think about it, because it means the cultists aren't just bad people. They might be under some kind of spell or influence from the deer, which makes them even more dangerous. Alright, now let's get into the real life missing people story. And this part is honestly so emotional and true. On June 9th of 2023, there was a plane with 7 people on board. Among them was a woman and her 4 children. Sadly, the plane crashed, which is super tragic. The only survivors were the 4 kids, which means they were all left completely alone in the Amazon rainforest with no adults to help them. Imagine being that young and having to survive in such a huge wild jungle all by yourself. They had to stay alive in the rainforest for nearly 40 days, which is so scary but also kind of amazing because they managed to do it against all odds. After the crash, the military launched a big mission to find the missing children. And thankfully, after those 40 long nights, the kids were rescued and brought to safety. So the story has a happy ending for the kids, which is a relief. While the kids were recovering in the hospital, one of them drew a picture of a dog sitting under a tree next to a river. This wasn't just any random drawing. It was based on a real dog that stayed with them while they were lost in the forest. The dog was like their protector, sticking close to them and keeping them safe from danger for several days until they were found. When the military spotted the drawing, they thought it looked like one of their trained military dogs who had gone missing a few days earlier. So maybe the dog really was there to protect the kids, which is super sweet and kind of magical. But there's also another explanation that maybe the dog, the kids just imagined the dog, because when people are like weak, hungry, or exhausted, their minds can play tricks on them and make them see things that aren't really there. So it could be that the dog was just in their imagination, caused by malnourishment and fatigue. Either way, the kids were safe, which is the most important part. And in the game, your goal is kind of like this real story. You have to find each missing child and rescue them while trying to survive the dark, creepy forest for those 99 nights. So yeah, the game mixes a lot with real life stuff with supernatural fiction, and the kids getting lost, surviving, and being rescued is true and real. But the supernatural deer and creature and the cultist are made up and to make the game more spooky and interesting. It's a cool mix of real life and fantasy that makes the game super intense and exciting to play. But anyways, that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to join my Roblox group called Chocolatey Kitties with an exclamation mark, and don't forget to follow my Roblox profile called Stellafirework. Now just remember to like and subscribe and comment down below what you guys think about this video. Bye guys!